Before Moses stood before Pharaoh, before the plagues, before the Red Sea, God was already shaping his destiny. He was a helpless baby, marked for death. From a baby hidden in the Nile, to a prince of Egypt, to a humble shepherd on holy ground. This is the untold journey of Moses before the miracles began. Exodus chapter 1 to chapter 3. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. Exodus chapter 1 verse 8. This Pharaoh feared the Israelites' growing numbers. Then a cruel decree spread across the homes of the Israelites. Every newborn Hebrew boy was to be thrown into the Nile. Fear gripped the people, but God had a plan. Israelite mothers clutched their newborns, hiding them in small clay homes. Soldiers patrol the streets, eyes sharp for crying infants. Even in the darkest oppression, God's plan for deliverance is already at work. Satan may try to destroy God's chosen ones before they fulfill their destiny, but the Lord's purposes cannot be stopped. And the woman conceived and bare a son. And when she saw him that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. Jochebed cradles her newborn son. She looks at him with tears, but also hope. Jochebed holds her newborn son close, her eyes wet with tears. Lord, you have given him to us. Now I place him in your hands. Miriam helps hide the baby when soldiers pass by. The family's faith is their only shield. God often raises up deliverers in times of great danger. Just as Moses was preserved, God preserves those he calls, even in hostile environments. And when she could not longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes, and put the child therein, and she laid it in the flags by the river's brink. Exodus chapter 2, verse 3. Jochebed weaves the small basket, coating it with tar so it will float. She kisses the child one last time before placing him among the reeds. Miriam stands at a distance, watching. Early the next morning, Pharaoh's daughter arrives to bathe, notices the basket, and opens it. The baby cries, and compassion fills her heart. Pharaoh's daughter said, "This is one of the Hebrews' children." Miriam steps forward with courage and said, "Shall I go and call thee a nurse of the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for thee?" By God's providence, Moses is returned to his own mother until he is weaned. Faith sometimes requires letting go. Jochebed trusted that God would protect her child, and God not only saved Moses, but arranged for his own mother to care for him. Surrender to God often brings blessings we never imagined. And Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, and was mighty in words and in deeds. Growing up in Pharaoh's palace, Moses was given an education fit for a future leader. He was well versed in the ways of the Egyptians, learning about their culture, politics, and military strategies. However, his heart remained with his Hebrew heritage. As he grew older, Moses became increasingly aware of the suffering of his people. He saw the injustice and cruelty they faced daily, which stirred something deep within him. The struggle for identity was real for Moses. He was caught between his life of luxury and his desire to help his enslaved people. The conflict came to a head-on when one day he sees an Egyptian striking a Hebrew slave. Anger rises. He kills the Egyptian and hides the body in the sand. The next day, he tries to stop 2 Hebrews from fighting. One said to him, "Who made you a prince and a judge over us? Do you intend to kill me as you killed the Egyptian?" Fear grips Moses. The matter is known. Pharaoh seeks to kill him, and Moses flees into the wilderness. Knowing your calling is not the same as being ready for it. Moses acted in human anger rather than God's timing, and it cost him years in the desert. God sometimes sends us into seasons of humbling before he uses us fully. Moses helps defend the daughters of Reuel, Jethro, from aggressive shepherds. Jethro welcomes him, and Moses marries Zipporah, his daughter. Years pass. Moses becomes a shepherd, leading flocks through barren lands. He once walked the marble halls of Egypt. Now his companions are sheep and the quiet winds of the desert. God uses the wilderness to train leaders in humility, patience, and obedience. Moses was learning to lead sheep before he would lead people. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush, and the bush was not consumed. Exodus chapter 3, verse 2. Moses approaches, curious. God said to him,
"Moses, Moses."
"Here am I," Moses replied.
"Do not come any closer. Take off your sandals. For the place where you are standing is holy ground. I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. I have indeed seen the misery of my people in Egypt. I have heard them crying out because of their slave drivers, and I am concerned about their suffering. So I have come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land into a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey."
Exodus chapter 3, verse 5 to 8. God commands Moses to go to Pharaoh and bring his people out of Egypt. Moses' encounter with God at the burning bush was life-altering. It was here that he received his mandate and was equipped with the divine authority to stand before Pharaoh. The burning bush represents God's holy presence, powerful yet merciful. Just as the bush burned without being consumed, God sustains his people through trials without letting them be destroyed. The call of Moses reminds us that God does not choose the most confident, he equips the willing. Moses' journey from his early struggles to his divine encounter prepared him for his monumental mission. He was no longer just a Hebrew boy raised as an Egyptian prince. He was a leader chosen by God, equipped with faith and courage to challenge the status quo.
Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more on this series.